Is there somebody down there?
Depression, death and a plethora of ghosts await us as we return to Cheshire.
I'm Yvette Fielding, and this week I would like to invite you to join my team as we return to one of Britain's oldest and scariest locations. Welcome to Most Haunted and the mansion, Tatton Park.
The estate was in the hands of the Egerton family from before 1600, though the land itself has been inhabited since 8000 BC. The present edifice stands on the site of John Egerton's original house dating from the late 18th century. At the height of the Egertons' fortunes, the estate boasted over 25,000 acres. It's now a more modest 2,000, with the mansion itself set within 1,000 acres of walled parkland. It passed to the National Trust in the late 1950s on the death of Maurice, the last Lord Egerton. The house is said to be alive with spiritual activity, all connected with the Egerton occupation. Present-day staff report odd but not unpleasant odours, unexplained clusters of flies in certain parts of the house, the sense of having been touched by unseen hands, disembodied voices, shuffling footsteps echoing down empty corridors, and perhaps most unsettling of all, sightings of various dark apparitions and spirits, both in the house and in the gardens.
With so many stories of ghosts said to plague this mansion, who would be brave enough to spend a night alone and in the dark here? Well, that's exactly what Kath and I did, and this is what happened.
What's the matter? What's the matter? I thought I heard a It is dark, isn't it? Did you hear that? I heard it tapping. I heard a lot before. It was a woman's moan. There's that. Listen. Can you hear it? No, it's talking. There's nobody here, is there?
Is there anybody here?
It's a picture. They're scary, aren't they?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Are you really scared? What's that?
I heard a clink in there.
That's the library, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah. Oh, shit.
Why do I have to go first?
Because you've got the camera. Don't you think we're being brave, me and you?
No.
Why are you tiptoeing around?
What was that?
I don't know. That's another moan.
Is it a moan?
Yeah, that's two moans I heard. Come on, let's go.
Let's sidestep out. What, like the whole...
What are you running for? Don't run.
Oh,
What are you doing?
I'm just trying to get this
Yeah,
out.
I know we are to run.
No. What?
It's only those jingling. Which way?
I don't know. I'm going
This
to
way,
come.
this way.
What, out?
The voices and noises that Kath and I heard certainly gave us cause for concern regarding the coming night's investigation.
Now, normally we start our investigation inside our chosen location, but this place is so full of ghosts, there isn't enough room for any more. And so our first phantom has been relegated to suffer the harsh seasons alone and outside. The ghost of Lady Charlotte Egerton is said to roam the gardens and grounds of this delightful mansion. It is thought that she's trying to make her way to the house, but never quite gets there. haunting in the library centres around this area. After setting these chairs and retiring for the evening, the owners come down in the morning only to find them rearranged, as though a nightly game of chess had been played by a group of unseen phantoms.
I've experienced the doors rattling in the tenants' hall in the early hours of the morning, and also a colleague of mine and myself one early morning witnessed a figure walk past one of the doorways.
After the death of her two eldest sons, one in infancy and one in his 20s, Lady Anna was struck down with severe depression, making her a very stern woman indeed, which affected everybody around her. She would have spent many melancholy hours here in the Lemon Room and next door in the chintz bedroom. And some believe she's still here, as the rug by this fire seems to move on its own, as though it's being tidied. Many people complain of feeling depressed and uneasy when entering the rooms, and in the dead of night, a low murmuring can be heard when both areas are thought to be empty. This dining room is the only room to date back to the original dwelling, and so could that be the key to the hauntings that plague it? Elizabeth Sykes was a woman who loved this place so much that she refuses to leave and has been seen here on a regular basis by staff and guests alike, walking endlessly around. She's also blamed for violently rattling the door. But why? Is she trying to get out, or is something trying to get in? We have 24 hours to find out.
With such a fascinating history and so much reported activity, what would Dr. Kieran O'Keefe be expecting from the coming investigation?
Well, Kieran, we've come back to Cheshire, we've come back to the Tatton Park estate. How do you think this investigation is going to differ from the previous one?
Well, already this particular house, as opposed to the old house, is dynamically very different. Any items that are here are all original to the house, and it will start to play on people's imagination a little bit. They'll immediately put themselves in that environment of a very, very old manor house and expect things to be jumping out.
One of the phenomena caught here and witnessed here is a door that shakes violently. What do you think can cause that?
The first thing I'd be looking for is drafts. Having discounted that, we'd have to make sure that nobody further out in another part of the building has shut a door and caused an internal draft which would make the door move. If we can discount those natural explanations and it still occurs, then it's very interesting and possibly paranormal.
Kieran's sceptical misgivings would be put to the test as David Wells began his initial reading of Tatton Park Mansion.
It seems a very matriarchal house. It doesn't feel dominated by big, angry blokes. But there's also a woman in a white shift, she's got the skirt up.
Oh, she's running.
Yeah,
Right.
She storms around a lot. I mean, she moves very fast, like breakneck speed. I know it sounds like an odd thing to say, but I can almost taste her. I can taste her.
She's banging away.
I actually feel as if I'm right in her life.
David Wells started his customary first reading outside in the gardens of the house. Would he pick up on the spirit of Lady Charlotte Egerton, who supposedly walked this area?
Do you think there is, any ghosts, any presences outside?
There's horses and just stuff you would expect to you get all of that residual stuff. But there's also a woman in a white shift, it's a gown, it's not her underwear or anything, and she sort of swishes right up the path towards the house. So she in a hurry. I don't know if she's running. She's got the skirt.
Oh, she's running.
Yeah,
Right. Okay. And time period?
Probably 1700s.